Good evening, ladies. It's so exciting moving on with you in the new book that we're learning together, The Path of the Just, and we're moving on with the introduction. And Haramchal, he explains, he says that there are people who think that what we really need to do is the mitzvot that we're told in the Torah, and that is to keep Shabbat and to eat kosher and to build a sukkah and sukkot and whatever it is that we need to do whenever we need to do it. And he says that when they imagine doing like the inner part of worshiping Hashem, when we're talking about what it means to really love Hashem and to really to be passionate about Judaism and to really be full-heartedly devoted to your faith, then what they imagine that it means is to like read long confessions or to fast for days or to go into a mikveh that is frozen or things like that. But we need to really understand that this is not what it really means. A person who is passionate about Judaism and about his faith, this is not what it means. And he explains that Moshe Rabbeinu, in the book of Dvarim, he says, "V'ata Yisrael, ma Hashem shoel mi'imach, כי אם ליראה את השם אלוקיך, ללכת בכל דרכיו ולאהבה אותו, ולעבוד את השם אלוקיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך, לשמור את מצוותיו ואת חוקיו." It's a very long pasuk. So what it means is that Moshe Rabbeinu says, he says, and now the nation of Israel, what does Hashem ask from you? What does Hashem want from you? The thing that Hashem wants from you is for you to have awe from Him, and that you will follow His path, that you will love Him, and you will worship Hashem full-heartedly with your entire heart and your entire soul and spirit, and to watch His and to follow His mitzvot and His laws. So in this pasuk we have exactly all the different parts. What are we supposed to do? It says to have awe from Hashem, to follow His path, to love, and to be full-hearted, to have a pure heart, and to keep the mitzvot. So what does each part of these things mean? So to have awe from Him, it says it's to understand who you're standing in front of, understanding that you are a person standing in this world that was created by Hashem, but not only this world, everything that there is, all the stars, all the planets, all the different galaxies that were all created by Hashem, and He made all of it, He created all of it just for you, just out of love for you. But it helps you understand who you're facing. What is this Hashem that created all of it? Look what you're standing in front of. And if I would try, he says, imagine you're standing in front of a mighty king. How would you behave in front of him? How much awe would you have in front of him? And that's just a human being. Like, I tried to think of what is the parallel. Like, now we don't have kings. So I thought of myself, maybe if I would have been standing next to Bibi Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, like that's a person we have awe from. So if I would be standing in front of him, I will make sure I come dressed properly and I'll watch every word I say. Or that's not such a good example really, but if I would stand in front of Arav Mordechai Eliyahu, the rabbi who passed away, he passed away when I was in high school, but he was an amazing person. And he was the chief rabbi of Israel for a few years. And if I would be standing in front of him, how much awe I would have just being in the same room with him. I can't even think of it. So think, and that's just a human being. So think what it's like being in front of Hashem and speaking to Hashem. Think of when you daven, you're really talking to Hashem. Think where you are, what you're saying to the Creator of everything. And the next step is following His path. And what does it mean? So he explains following Hashem's path is following the way He wants you to live your life, following the kind of person He wants you to be, which means correcting who you are and correcting your qualities. And if you're a person who gets angry often, if you're a person who is jealous, or that is impatient, or that is selfish, God forbid, or all these things, all these bad qualities, these are things that you need to fight against. And it says, "Ma shehu chanun v'rachum, af eta hiyeh chanun v'rachum." It says Hashem is merciful, so you need to also be full of mercy. Hashem is just, so you need to be also to follow justice and to try to find justice in the world. It says whatever Hashem is, try to be as close to Hashem as you can be, as kind as you can be, as full of mercy as you can be. And he says pretty much every behavior, every action that is tiferet to aseh, which means anything that is something that you can be proud of, any kind of behavior that you can say that indicates who you are and it's a good thing about you. So try to do it. Try to do good things that indicate good things about who you are. And the next one is love. And he says, what does it mean to love Hashem? When you love Hashem, he says, if you want to know if you love Hashem, try to think, do you want to make Hashem feel nachat? What is nachat? Nachat, it's like nachas. When a person has like many children and grandchildren, they all have their own homes and their grandchildren, whatever, and they all have their good lives, whatever. So he sits back and he has nachas. So when you want Hashem to look at you and have nachas, because we're Hashem's children. And when you have this feeling that I want Hashem to be proud of me, I want Hashem to look down at me and say, oh, this is my child, my beloved child, who makes me so proud. And he says, this is the kind of feeling you have towards your parents. You want your parents to have nachas from you. When you feel like you want Hashem to have nachat from you, you know that you love Hashem. And if you feel like you're not giving Hashem nachat, if you feel like, oh my gosh, Hashem is looking down at me and he's sad or disappointed, and it makes you sad because you want Hashem to be happy with you, or if you are happy when you know that you did something and you're not happy because you think to yourself, oh my gosh, I'm going to go to heaven and have such a good afterlife, or because, oh, people now saw me doing it and they think good things of me. When you're happy because you did something good, because you think to yourself, I just made Hashem so happy, that's when you know that you really love Hashem. And wow, we have more and we're not even, it's already almost 8 minutes. So I'm going to send it to you and we're going to keep on learning B'ezrat Hashem tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. Have a good evening.